Have you ever been walking and suddenly felt like the ground moved under you? Or maybe you stood up from a chair and for just a second, everything went sideways. It is a very scary feeling, and millions of older adults feel this, but most of them never find out why it happens. Today, we are going to tell you exactly why, and some of these reasons might surprise you. If you are 55 or older, or if you have a parent or grandparent who sometimes loses balance, this video is for you. Today, we will explain 7 hidden reasons why older adults suddenly feel unsteady while walking. We are going to use very simple words, no complicated medical language, just clear, easy to understand explanations. By the end of this video, you will know what might be happening inside the body and what simple things you can do to feel safer. So please stay with us until the end, because the last 2 causes are ones most people never think about, but they are very, very common. Let's start. Inside each of your ears, there is a tiny system. Think of it like a little bubble level, the kind a carpenter uses to check if a shelf is straight. This tiny system inside your ear is always working. It sends signals to your brain and says, "You are standing straight, you are balanced, you are okay." But as we get older, this tiny system can get weaker, or sometimes it gets confused. When that happens, your brain gets the wrong message. Your brain thinks you are tilting, even when you are standing perfectly still. And that is when you suddenly feel dizzy, or unsteady, or like the room is moving. This is called an inner ear balance problem, and it is very, very common in older adults. Many people don't know this, but something as simple as a head cold, or even a small infection in the ear, can make this problem much worse for a few days. Imagine this. You are a 68-year-old woman. You had a cold last week. Now the cold is gone, but every morning when you get out of bed, you feel dizzy for a few seconds. That is often the inner ear settling back down. This is not always dangerous, but it is important to understand. And here is the good news. Doctors can test this. There are simple exercises that can actually help train your inner ear to work better again. But first, let us talk about something that happens the moment you stand up. This one is very, very common, and most people never connect it to balance. Here's what happens. When you are sitting or lying down, your blood is resting. It is calm. It moves slowly. Then you stand up, and suddenly, gravity pulls your blood down toward your legs and feet. Your heart needs to pump faster to send blood back up to your brain. In a young person, this happens in less than a second. Very fast. No problem. But as we get older, the heart and blood vessels slow down a little. So there is a small gap, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, where not enough blood reaches the brain. And in that small gap, you feel dizzy, lightheaded, like you might fall. This is called orthostatic hypotension, but we will just call it a blood pressure drop when standing. Much easier. Picture this. An older gentleman gets up quickly from his armchair after watching TV. He takes 2 steps and grabs the wall. His family thinks he almost fainted, but it is just this blood pressure drop. This happens to so many older adults. The simple fix is to stand up slowly. Sit at the edge of the chair first. Wait 3 seconds, then stand. But here is something important. This blood pressure drop can also happen because of something you might be taking every single day. We will get to that. But first, let us talk about what is happening in the legs. Your body has millions of tiny nerve fibers. Think of them like telephone wires. These nerves are always sending messages between your feet, your legs, and your brain. Your feet feel the ground. They send a message up to the brain. The brain says, "Okay, shift your weight a little, adjust, stay balanced." This is happening every second when you walk. Your body is constantly making tiny adjustments, most of which you cannot even feel. But as we get older, these nerve wires can become slower, weaker, less sensitive, so the messages are delayed. Your foot touches the ground, but the message reaches the brain a little late, and by then, your balance is already off. This condition is called peripheral neuropathy. In simple words, weak feeling in the nerves of the legs and feet. Think of an older man walking on the grass in his garden. He does not feel a slight dip in the ground. His foot lands wrong, and before he knows it, he stumbles. His feet actually lost the ability to sense the ground the way they used to. This is very common, and many people do not know it is happening until they start falling. Now, here is an interesting thing. This nerve weakness, it can sometimes be made worse by something you are missing in your diet. Let us talk about that next. This one surprises a lot of people. Your nerves, those telephone wires we talked about, they need vitamin B12 to stay healthy. Without enough B12, the nerves begin to weaken, slowly, quietly. You might not notice for months, but over time, The legs start to feel heavy, numb, tingly, and balance becomes harder. Vitamin B12 deficiency is extremely common in people over 60, and here is why. As we age, the stomach makes less of a certain substance that helps absorb B12 from food. So even if you are eating meat, eggs, and dairy, your body might not be absorbing the B12 properly. Many people are low, and they do not know it. Now, vitamin D is also important, not just for bones, but also for muscle strength. Weak muscles in the legs and core make it much harder to keep your balance. Imagine a 72-year-old woman. She eats well, she takes a walk every day, but she has been feeling unsteady for months. Her doctor checks her blood. Her B12 is very low. She starts taking a simple B12 supplement. Within a few weeks, she feels stronger, more steady, more confident walking. A simple blood test can check your B12 and vitamin D levels. If they are low, they can often be fixed with simple supplements. But here is something even simpler that many older adults are missing every day. This one is so simple, and yet it is one of the most common causes of dizziness and balance problems in older adults. Dehydration, not drinking enough water. Here is the thing. When we get older, our sense of thirst gets weaker. A young person feels thirsty. They drink. Simple. But an older adult can be quite dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. When your body does not have enough water, the blood gets thicker. It becomes harder for the heart to pump it around. Less blood reaches the brain. Less oxygen reaches the muscles. And the result? Dizziness, weakness, confusion, and yes, loss of balance. Think about this. An older woman spends a warm afternoon working in her garden. She does not feel thirsty. She comes inside, stands up too fast, and the room spins. Her daughter worries it is something serious, but it is simply dehydration. Drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water per day can make a surprising difference in how steady you feel. And here is something important. Certain medications can make dehydration worse, which brings us to something many people never think to check. This cause is one of the most overlooked. Many older adults take multiple medicines every day, for blood pressure, for cholesterol, for diabetes, for anxiety, for pain. Each medicine does an important job, but many medicines, even when they are working correctly, can cause side effects that affect balance. Some blood pressure medicines can lower blood pressure too much, and you already know what that means. Dizziness when standing up. Some sleeping pills and anxiety medicines make the brain a little foggy. This affects your ability to react quickly when you lose balance. Some antihistamines, the medicines for allergies, can also cause dizziness and drowsiness. Even some diabetes medicines, if they lower blood sugar too much, can make you feel unsteady and confused. Here is a very common situation. An older man starts taking a new blood pressure medicine. 2 weeks later, he starts feeling dizzy every morning. He thinks it is his age, but it is actually the medicine. If you started feeling unsteady around the same time you started a new medicine, please mention this to your doctor. They can often adjust the dose or switch you to something that does not cause this. Never stop taking a medicine on your own, but always tell your doctor what you are feeling. Now, we have one last cause to talk about, and this one is very natural. It happens to everyone, but understanding it will help you feel less worried. Your brain is incredible. Every second of every day, it is collecting information from 3 places. Your eyes, to see where you are. Your inner ear, to feel if you are tilting. Your feet and legs, to feel the ground. The brain takes all 3 signals and puts them together, and that is how you stay balanced. But as the brain gets older, just like the rest of the body, it becomes a little slower at processing all this information. The signals still arrive, but the brain takes just a tiny bit longer to put them all together. And in that tiny delay, a step can land wrong. A turn can be too quick, and the body does not correct fast enough. This is not a disease. It is not dementia. It is simply how the brain ages. Think of it this way. When you were young, your brain was like a fast computer. Instant response. As you get older, it is still a very good computer, just not quite as fast. This is why older adults sometimes feel less steady on uneven ground, or in the dark, when the eyes cannot help as much. And this is also why things like regular walking, gentle exercise, and even balance training, like Tai Chi, can actually help the brain get better at this again. The brain can learn, even at 80, even at 90. But let us now take a breath and talk about what you should do with all of this information. First, please take a breath. Not everything we talked about today is serious. Most of these causes are common. Most of them are manageable, and many of them can be improved with simple changes. Here are 3 very simple things you can start doing today. Number 1, drink more water, even if you do not feel thirsty. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day. Start with a glass of water when you wake up in the morning. Your brain and your blood will thank you. Number 2, stand up slowly. Never jump up from a chair or bed. Sit at the edge first. Take a breath. Wait 3 seconds, then stand. This one small habit can prevent so many falls. Number 3, talk to your doctor. If you feel dizzy or unsteady often, please do not ignore it. Tell your doctor when it happens, how long it lasts, what you were doing when it started. Bring a list of all your medicines and supplements. A simple blood test can check for B12 and vitamin D. A blood pressure check can be done in minutes. These small checks can find the cause quickly. You are not being dramatic by asking. You are being smart. And remember, your balance can often be improved. It is not something you simply have to accept. Many older adults with the right support feel steadier and more confident than they have in years. So let us quickly go over what we learned today. 7 hidden reasons why seniors lose balance while walking. 1. The inner ear getting confused. 2. Blood pressure dropping when you stand up. 3. Nerves in the legs becoming weaker. 4. Low vitamin B12 or vitamin D. 5. Not drinking enough water. 6. Side effects of certain medicines. 7. The brain taking a little longer to process balance signals. All of these are real. All of them are common. And most of them can be helped. If this video helped you, please share it with a family member, a friend, or a parent who might need this information. It could make a real difference in someone's safety. And if you have a question, write it in the comments below. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Please take care of yourself, walk carefully, drink your water, and we will see you in the next video.